So hi everyone, I'm Terri Pace. I am a holistic health coach, and I used to work for the county for about 17 years. I first started with the health department and then went to the Department of Social Services. And I want to just express my gratitude for the opportunity to share my knowledge and experiences with you today as part of this mental hygiene initiative for Suffolk County employees. I love how they recognize the stress that we're under and how natural products can help support the goals that we have for improving our lives, both our personal lives and our work lives. And so I just want to say thank you to all of you who do what you do with little praise, with little recognition by most of the population. You know, you keep things going for the county. And I understand what you do, and I give gratitude for that. And so during today's workshop, we're going to explore a little bit of, the science behind how essential oils can help us with our goals to improve our health and our wellness, right? Using them at your fingertips, I have like quite a few favorites, right? It's like having a favorite child, right? They're all your favorite. It's very difficult to pick from them. And what I wanted to do is just start with like giving you a little kind of background on exactly what is an essential oil, right? So an essential oil is distilled from the plant, right? The leaves, the flowers, the bark, the berries, the roots from all different parts of the plant. And in the case of, let's say, citrus fruits, it actually comes from the rind. Essential oils are naturally occurring, volatile aromatic compounds, right? It's nature's chemistry. And one of the things that I would like you to impress on you is essential oils are a message-carrying molecule, right? It's aromatic chemistry. Right? And so the essential oil is produced by the plant as part of the plant's defensive or recovery mechanisms, or maybe as part of its communication, right? And so essential oils are created by the plant to help them protect them from environmental threats, to help them recover from microbial attacks or fungal attacks, and even right? Think of when a flower is fragrant, it actually attracts pollinators, and it can sometimes repel pests. And so these three things, protection, recovery, and communication, are why we use essential oils, right? They help protect us from environmental threats. They help improve our internal communications. Think of your cells as, smart molecules that are talking to each other. That's how we get anything done. And they help heal or repair damaged cells. So as we go through this today, we're going to learn a little bit more about the science behind the chemistry of essential oils and why they do what they do. Now, it's really simple to use them, right? The first way is aromatically, right? What's the first thing you notice about an essential oil? It has an aroma. It has this beautiful fragrance. And so we're going to breathe them in or use them to open our airways, to cleanse the air. And because as you breathe it in, the first place it hits, it's called the olfactory bulb. It's right behind your nose, and it's how we process smell. It's how we process aromatic chemistry. And when we breathe it in through the olfactory bulb, it goes right into our limbic brain, which is responsible for memory, mood, and emotion. And so I love diffusing an essential oil or breathing it in when I want to quickly change the mood in the room. Topically is a very well-founded, well-studied method of using essential oils, right? You're going to apply it to the area you want to impact. So let's say you have, like sore knee or sore back, you're going to rub that essential oil right on that area. Maybe you have a bug bite or some kind of skin abrasion that you're trying to help, and so you're going to apply it directly to that area. Maybe you have a headache and it starts in the back of your neck or in your temples, right? So we're going to apply it proximal to the area that we want to impact. We also talk a lot about applying them on the bottom of the feet, right? Because the science of reflexology helps us kind of target different systems just by applying it on the feet. The third way is internally, right? It's amazing what an essential oil can do internally. And the first thing I remind people is, you know, some of the essential oils that we're using, like think about it, wild orange, lemon, cinnamon, peppermint, right? These are things that are food in another form. And so it's very natural to take them internally, right? But not all essential oils are created equal. You're going to want to make sure that whatever essential oil you're using, it has this supplement facts label, right? That means that it's rated by the FDA as a food supplement. And so it's approved for internal use. Now, the essential oils that I use from doTERRA are not just approved for internal use, they're actually recommended for internal use. And so that's going to be important as we learn a little bit more about the chemistry and why you feel so confident taking it in all three ways. Breathing it in, applying it on your skin, or taking it internally. Each of these three ways, it's going in your body. So no matter which way you choose, we really want to make sure that we have the highest quality. When you have a pure essential oil, check this out, right? Within 22 seconds, we notice that chemistry in the brain, right? Within 2 minutes, you can find that chemistry in the bloodstream. And within 22 minutes, it has moved into every single cell of your body, right? It's incredibly fast because it's made of the same substance as your own body. And so it has the ability to move through the skin into the membranes of your cells and impact them. Now I have a great little clip here. So this is a clip of a blood, they took a blood sample from somebody. And if you notice, they're kind of clumped together. This is a live blood, so that you can see the blood cells moving around. This is just a clip of it. And this is what free radical damage does, right? Like when we have oxidation, right? It makes your cells sluggish, they're misshapen, they don't really have kind of the ability to do what they're supposed to do. And so what they did was they applied an essential oil to the bottom of this person's foot, and then 30 seconds later took another blood sample. And this is what it looked like, right? What a dramatic change. And it was 30 seconds later, right? And so how can this be possible? What is it about the essential oil? What's in it that creates such a dramatic difference between the cells on the left and the cells on the right? Are you curious? Right? So we're going to talk today about the science behind essential oils. And so, I'm a little bit of a science geek, so I'm going to kind of just talk to you a little bit about the chemistry, but what gift that chemistry brings, right? When you are using an essential oil, we're hiring that essential oil to do a job. And the job that it does is based on, what kind of tools that it has, right? And so the tools are about the molecular structure, right? And so if you want something that's restorative, right, there might be one type of chemistry that would be good for you as opposed to one that's uplifting. And what we find, right, Dr. Hill is one of the leading experts in essential oil chemistry. And, like the purity of the oil is what dictates its outcomes. And so when you're looking at essential oils, right, you want to make sure that, the growers and distillers are encouraged to grow it naturally. No fillers, no pesticides, like if it didn't grow with the plant, don't put it on it, right? Like we want to be uncompromisingly selective. We also want to make sure that, it's built on science, right? Like one of the things that I learned was we start with the end in mind, right? Like, so I want this oil to be able to help me in a time of stress. And so I know that in order for me to help stress in my body, right? Stress is like, let's say, cortisol or epinephrine or adrenaline. In order to mitigate the effects, I have to have some kind of chemistry in the essential oil that naturally does this. And so lavender has some amazing chemistry that helps our body reduce cortisol in the bloodstream. And so we notice that lavender is incredibly calming. And this is why, right? It has this underlying science behind it. You know, it's about, you know, where is it grown? You know, how is it grown? What type of environment is it grown in? What's in the soil? How much sunlight does it get? How much water does it get? All of these things are going to determine what kind of chemistry ends up in the bottle, right? If you think of, you know, let's say lavender grown in New York City is going to have a very different chemistry from lavender, let's say, grown in the south of France in the mountains, right? And even like what time of day it's harvested matters, right? There are some oils that are made from flower oils, like the rose that you have pictured on the top of this page. You have to pick it and distill it within, I think it's within an hour of being picked, right? Because it wilts so quickly. And so as you get longer away from the time it was picked, the chemistry starts changing. And so we want to get it and have it distilled quicker to maintain that vital chemistry that we're looking for. So that's just some of the examples that we are looking at. We also want to make sure that we partner with people and, you know, that there's a, you know, an ability to kind of bring everybody together, right? We have the ability to choose a location and not just have it produce the best essential oil, but, you know, how are we partnering with growers, distillers, harvesters to all agree on the purity and potency that is the goal. And so this is just a great map of, you know, I think it's over 40 different nations where we source essential oils from. And so the benefits that you're going to get out of the bottle, right, when you're looking for a therapeutic benefit, it's going to follow the chemistry that's in the bottle, right? So let's get started and kind of learn a little bit about chemistry. So the first thing I want you to know about essential oils is that they're biologically active, right? That means that they work within the body. You know, they're alive, they're intelligent messages. They have an interaction with the receptor sites and the enzymes in your own body, right? And so, you know, can it destroy a microbe without any assistance from the body? Yes, but it also works within the framework of the body. We also know that they're active on the surface of the cell, right? So the surface of the cell is the membrane, which is the thinking part of the cell. And it's going to move easily through that membrane, right? The membrane's designed to keep out what's not supposed to be in there, right? And so the fact that it can move in and out is hugely important to what potential benefits you can have. And the other thing that I love is that they're selective. Because they're intelligent, they have the ability to differentiate, right? So they're a message carrying molecule. That means that they have a message for your cells, right? Whether it's a brain cell or an eye cell or a bone cell or a blood cell, right? There are different messages that it's going to give based on what type of cell you are. And depending on your status, so if you are a healthy cell, right, it's going to fortify it with antioxidant, anti-inflammatory messaging, right, that helps it be healthier, helps it sustain the cell's life. And maybe if it's not a healthy cell, it's going to help it repair the DNA and or kind of signal to the body it's time to replace this cell. And so we have a lot of amazing potential here, right? They're lipid soluble, right? Lipid just means it's a fat. And so the membrane of the cell is also a lipid. And so now you see how, because they're made of the same substance, they're really amazing, right? They're also incredibly small in size and in weight. That means that they can move through the body and penetrate barriers or membranes that maybe synthetic medications cannot penetrate, right? And they are amazing at providing that cell signaling, right? Everything that happens in your body is because some kind of either hormone or enzyme, but like there are signals in your body that get things going. How do you think digestion happens? How do you think breathing happens? A lot of your autonomic processes, like your heartbeat, all of these are happening with these electromagnetic impulses, and essential oils kind of help that process. And so, even when we have some kind of physiological compromise, the essential oil can actually act in the place of what the body's trying to do while it's helping to repair the body. So we have some real amazing potential here. So now what I wanted to do is to just go into a little bit of the science behind essential oils as it relates to what kind of compound it is. Because once we know more about the compound and what it can do, we understand a little bit more about the potential therapeutic value of an oil. So let's start with this. Okay, so a monoterpene is kind of like it's a very, very small compound, which means that it can be metabolized very quickly, right? And it's very fast acting. So essential oils like grapefruit is a citrus oil. It's very fast acting. The body's going to absorb it right away. And so you can use it repeatedly throughout the day. It has this don't mess with me kind of character, right? And so you're going to be able to quickly take care of certain things in the body just by using, grapefruit, frankincense, cypress, right? We also have a sesquiterpene, right? It has 2 carbon molecules kind of joined together. So it's a little bit more complex. And that means it's going to be metabolized by the body just a little bit slower, which also means it's going to be longer lasting. And so if you notice some of the wood oils like vetiver and cedarwood, right? These are things that we use at night to help us sleep. And imagine them being metabolized slowly. So not only does it help you fall asleep faster, right? Because they're dramatic and immediate, but they're slowly being metabolized through the body. And so it helps you stay asleep longer, right? They have greater complexity, and that helps them do more, right? And so we also are going to find as the molecular structure becomes more complex, there's going to be a lot more benefits, right? In our society, we tend to associate a single, let's say, drug with a single outcome. Like, so I'm going to take kaopectate because of a stomach upset, right? But if I have a different type of stomach upset, I might have to take Tums. And if I have even different, upset, I might need a completely separate one. Like when we're dealing with essential oils, we have a one-to-many, right? One essential oil, because of its complex chemistry, can bring us an amazing number of therapeutic outcomes. We also have, like the alcohols, right? The aldehydes. All of these things are really good at protecting the body, right? They're protecting to the cells, they're protecting to tissues, they protect us against environmental threats, right? And so if you notice in the middle category, the phenols, oregano, clove, thyme, right? These are spice oils that we use, and they're really good for digestive health, right? When we normally would eat these, right? We bring them into our digestive system, which has kind of a lot of stuff going on in there, right? We're breaking, or a little factory, right? We're breaking down food, and there's good bacteria and bad bacteria, and we really need some powerhouses to protect us, because we're taking the outside world and bringing it into the body intentionally when we eat. And so everything that's going on in your stomach is kind of on high alert, watching for invaders, watching for bad bacteria. And you know how quick your body can respond when there's a threat there, right? Up and out, either the way you came in or the other way, right? We can process things like that really quickly. So, but this is because there's amazing chemistry in the essential oil, or in that herb, that brings this to life. Okay, so what else do we have? So we have ketones. Ketones are like one of my favorite, right? This is where lavender, rosemary, fennel, peppermint, right? They're very calming, right? They have this ability to renew and energize, right? Maybe kind of repair deeper, tissues. And the esters. I love this picture of the little frog in this zen position, right? It really helps bring that to life, that it's relaxing to the tissues and calming to emotions. I want you to think of, let's say you have an abrasion on your arm. You might describe it as looking very angry, right? When we have skin that has been damaged, it does appear red and irritated and angry. And so it's kind of an emotion that the skin is displaying. And so not only is it good to calm our emotions, it's actually good to calm the cells that have this kind of irritation in them. And so it can be very soothing to the body. Things like chamomile and wintergreen and clary sage, some really amazing stuff. Then we have like a whole group, it's called oxides, right? And they help cleanse and purify. Right? These are ones that I put in my diffuser when I have a lot of traffic, either in like my office or maybe in my home, in my kitchen, right? I have a lot of things that happen there. So I want to make sure that it's going to really cleanse out the environment, right? So there's lots of potential, and as you're getting started, we have some really great tools, right? There's like a chemistry wheel, right, for people who are just getting started. And what I love about this is you would just literally go and pick, okay, I need something that's energizing. And so what are the essential oils that can be energizing? Well, I want some peppermint, right? It doesn't matter to me in the moment that it's a ketone, but I'm helping you appreciate that it's the ketone that's in the peppermint that helps it be energizing to you, right? And so, do you need something that's calming? Maybe you come on the calming side and you say, okay, maybe some lavender or some bergamot can help me, enjoy a little bit of calm in my very hectic day, right? Maybe I need to be uplifted. And so, some of the citrus oils, lemon, lime, grapefruit, tangerine, this is supported by the limonene that's in there. One of the ways that I would love to tell you, so limonene is great to detoxifier. It helps your body produce dopamine, which is your happy drug. So did you ever peel back the skin of an orange or a lemon and it has that spray and you breathe it in, you're like, oh, like you just feel happier in that moment. You feel happier. You're not even really sure why. But I invite you to, the next time you peel a citrus fruit, to enjoy that moment for a second, right? The essential oils in the rind of the fruit, and as you're breaking open that fruit, you're actually like releasing those essential oils into the air. And as you breathe them in, right, within 20 seconds, they're starting to impact the brain chemistry. And now you have some, like, you have a better ability to make dopamine. And dopamine's your happy drug. And so what a great way to just immediately become a little bit happier just by putting it in your diffuser or maybe putting it in your water. right? I love using citrus oils. Now there's a side benefit to this, right? The limonene also helps your body produce something called glutathione. And we know that we need antioxidants, right? You're oxidizing all the time, right? Oxidation is about, let's say if you cut open an apple and you put it on the table, right? It starts to turn brown. That's oxidation. And so just by living and breathing, we are oxidizing. And so, you know, plants are the main source of how we get antioxidants, right? Things that neutralize the oxidative damage that's happening in our tissue, right? And so when we are taking in limonene in the form of citrus oils, we are helping our body produce a natural antioxidant that helps with that oxidative stress, which is causing a lot of inflammation in your body, right? Oxidation causes inflammation. So if you can reduce oxidation, guess what? You're reducing inflammatory response. So how cool is that? Okay, so all of this is about the chemistry. And if the chemistry isn't in the bottle, then you're not going to get the therapeutic value when you use an essential oil. And so I said it before, not all essential oils are created equal. There are many forms of adulteration, and there's very little regulatory oversight to help you prevent it or detect it, right? So the only way is to know what your company's doing. And so on the side of the bottle of essential oil, it shouldn't just say peppermint, right? It should have the genus and species name of it. Like this one says Mentha piperita, right? Like the genus and species name means that it actually is from a very specific form of the plant. Without that on the bottle, it could have been created in a lab, right? It might have some of the chemistry, but is that chemistry botanical chemistry, or is it a laboratory chemistry? Very different. It's also, I call it the wacko oils, right? So if you're in the store and you see 6 or 7 different oils kind of all in a row, all different aromas, and they're all the same price, that's got to give you a clue, right? Think of your vegetables and your fruits. Based on how many you're buying and how many pounds it is, right? You have completely different prices, right? Like what you pay per price of a banana is very different than what you pay per price of a, let's say, lettuce, right? So the same thing is with essential oils, right? The underlying plant that they're using to distill, right? Sometimes it takes, you know, I think it's 350,000 petals of rose in order to make a single bottle of rose essential oil. So that's going to increase the cost because it requires so much of the plant. But, you know, like let's say, I think it's about 40 lemons to make a single bottle of lemon essential oil, right? And so they're going to be very different in their price. So if you see that they're all at the same price, there's a good chance that that was made in a lab. You also want to make sure that the company is releasing test results. You know, are they showing you what is the exact chemistry that's in that bottle? Ask them to be transparent. Many of them will not give them to you because it will show that there is adulteration going on, and it's very common in the essential oil industry. So make sure that you see what the company's approved benefits are. How are they suggesting usage? Are they educating you, right? You know, is it readily available from the company? Because it really is designed for therapeutic value, right? Are there scientific studies that you can trace that essential oil and the chemistry back, right? doTERRA is very transparent. There's lots of ebooks, science and research, right? You know, the chemistry wheel. And they even have a partnership with something called Aromatic Science, right? It's all about aromatic chemistry and kind of pulling together lots of different research facilities, hospitals, doctors, partnerships from all over the world. And as they are using essential oils to do these different studies, they're getting kind of published in this single place. It's kind of like PubMed in a way, where you know, they don't store anything there, but it's kind of a link out so that you can easily find that particular study. So I hope that this was, you know, a good kind of basics of chemistry. And my intention was really to just help you appreciate that there's real chemistry potent in that bottle. When you take a single drop of peppermint and put it on your hand, it's equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. It is incredibly concentrated. And so one single drop can do so much in the body. And when we start to really appreciate the underlying science behind essential oils, right? It's not just this kind of mamby-tamby, you know, like if it smells good, put it in my soap, right? This is oils that we use here in my home. I actually have worked with preventive medicine doctors at Stony Brook, and I have, you know, doctor's orders for essential oils for my handicapped son. And it's made such an amazing difference in our life. We've been able to discontinue 6 different drugs that he was put on when he was very young. They said there was no exit strategy. And so, you know, I looked for a way to support his organs and systems using natural products, and have just, you know, it opened a door for me 10 years ago. And now I stand before you as an educator. I love teaching people a little bit more about the power of essential oils at your fingertips. And so if you would like to have some samples or want some more help, right, in the chat, I put a link for you. Just fill out, you know, your name, your address, maybe your phone number, so I can get a hold of you. We can have a quick conversation about what specific oils you might, you know, find valuable and useful for whatever you've got going on in your life. And, you know, it's my gift to you to say thank you for all that you do as a Suffolk County employee. Our success lies in our daily routines. So, you know, what will you do each and every day to promote better sleep, to improve your digestive health, to improve your mental wellness, maybe to boost your immune system, right? There are very specific things that we can do. And what a simple way, by putting essential oils in your diffuser or in your water or applying them on the bottom of your feet. It's incredibly founded in science, and I invite you to try it. So I'm here to, you know, let me just start my video. And, you know, I offer to you, you know, an opportunity to ask questions. And, you know, I'm going to turn off the recording. So for people who have joined us live, we're going to stay on and I'll answer some questions.